Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Trickton with Trickton's Gaming, bringing you guys the second episode in the series of building a new character. So, for those of you that don't know, I am starting a new series where I am going to be creating a new character, and I'm going to be leveling it all the way up into champion. Just to show you how easy it really is to be starting a new character and to be leveling through the entire ESO process. So for this episode, I already went over all of the races. I will be going over the classes. So the first class in Elder Scrolls is the Dragon Knight class. And for those of you that already know, Dragon Knight classes are very good at tanking. They are very good as either damage or as a tank. They don't really have that many heals, so I would not recommend them as a healer. However, if you're wanting to go with a damage over time type build with just a DPS, they do very well with stamina or magicka. They have a lot of versatility when it comes to being a damage over time spec. For a tank, they do really well as well because they have a lot of damage mitigation as well as self-healing. So they are very good as a tank and a DPS. However, for a healer, they don't really have that many heals. They do give a little bit of group support as far as the Earth and Shield or the Major Mending. So definitely would recommend this if you are wanting to go with a tanking class or with a DPS. The next one is the Sorcerer. Sorcerers are probably the easiest build to learn and to play. So for a sorcerer, they mostly excel in DPS roles with either PvE or PvP. They are really easy because they are so versatile. With a stamina class, you're going to have a lot of AoEs. You're going to have a lot of damage coming out. Whereas a magicka build, you're going to be kind of more distant. You're going to be kind of hitting them from a little ways away, and you'll have either some pets that are going to be helping you with that, that'll take your aggression, or you'll have pets that'll be helping you out. So if you are starting out, there is two classes that I would recommend. This would be the first class that I recommend. It is easy to learn, it's easy to get a hold of, and really understand it. The next class is the Nightblade. Nightblades are amazing in PvP, and they can also put out some high numbers with PvE. Now, if you are wanting to start this game and you don't know which class to go with, I would not recommend the Nightblade. Nightblades are a little bit harder to learn. You're going to have kind of a learning curve with a Nightblade. If it is one that you want to sneak around and kind of outsmart your opponents, I would recommend it. However, if you're just learning and you're just picking up the game, I would not recommend it as a Nightblade because Nightblades are a little bit more squishy. You're not gonna be as tanky, but you're going to have a high damage output. So definitely, that's kind of my opinion on the role. Take that for what it's worth and see, if you like it, try it, but I would not recommend it. The next class is the Templar. Templar is probably one of my favorite classes. It's an easy class to learn. It's kind of an up-in-your-face type of role, and they are really versatile. So you can either be a tank, you can be a healer, you can be a DPS. Each role, the Templar really puts out really well for it. So with the tank, it's not as good as a Dragon Knight, but it does do a lot of damage mitigation as well as self-healing and group healing. As a healer, it does provide really good group support. You do have a lot of heals that you can provide for your group. So as a healer, it really does excel as well. It is probably one of the best healers in the game, and I would highly recommend it as a damage over time or a DPS. It is one that you can solo most content, and you can do a lot with it. So if you are just starting to the game, the Sorcerer and the Templar are probably going to be your best bet. With easy to learn, it's going to excel when you get to higher levels, and it will be really nice when, as you're learning it and as you're playing it. So would recommend this class. The next one is the Warden. Now, Wardens are probably one of the more powerful classes. It does have kind of a learning curve to the class. You do use a lot of animal type abilities. Um, you have a bear companion that you can call to you as an ultimate. You also have a Betty Netch that'll be able to purify. And on the topic of purifying, there is only 3 classes that are able to purify uh, when someone hits you with a debuff or when you're affected by a poison or whatnot. The Templar, the Warden, and the Necromancer are the only ones that are able to debuff that. I believe the Nightblade might have a debuff on that with the disappearing skill with Shadow Cloak, but it doesn't. I don't believe it purifies you completely. So um, the 3 classes, the Templar, Warden, and Necromancer, do have purifies that you can use to purify those debuffs. So as someone that's going to be starting the game or someone that's looking for an easy class to play, I would not recommend the Warden. There is kind of a learning curve to that, whether you're Magicka or Stamina. Now, once you understand that, it does give a lot of sustain to the class. There's a lot of damage that can be put out by the class as well. So if you're looking for an end game one that you're going to have to learn and get good at, I would recommend it. But as far as starting out, it's a little bit harder, so I probably would not recommend it. The last class is the Necromancer class. This class I would not recommend for new people. The Necromancer is super, super powerful. There is a lot of support that you can give to your group. There's a lot of stuff that you are able to do as a Necromancer. However, as you can see, if you use certain Necromancer abilities while in a town, you will have the guards and citizens react accordingly. They will attack you. They will do all of that. So the Necromancer is a good class to learn, and if you're looking for kind of a class that's not like any of the other classes, that's not as forgiving, I would recommend this. However, if you're starting the game and you don't really want a hard class to learn, I would not recommend it. So again, the Warden is good at healing. It is good at sustain and DPS. The Necromancer is good at DPS and tanking. I would not recommend it as a healer. So those are the classes for that. I will be making a Templar today, going over that. If you guys like this video and you guys want to see more of it, please like and subscribe to this channel. It does help me to know kind of what content to put out as well as to what you guys want to see. If you'd like me to go more in depth on these, please let me know. Put it down in the comments below, and I would love to do in-depth guides on each one of the classes, kind of showing you the pros and cons and the abilities overall. That way you guys can understand each class in depth for that. So again, if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. That would help me a ton with this as well. And until next time, guys, peace.